The High Court in Kabale has sentenced 2 individuals to Ndora Government Prison for the murder of a 70-year-old woman in Kisoro District. Fausta Mukankusi, 41 years old, and Innocent Niyonzima, 26 years old, also a driver, are both from Kisoro Municipality and were convicted of murdering Florence Bashimichi, a resident of Nyariaga village in Kisoro District. The murder was linked to a family land dispute, with Mukankusi, the daughter of the victim, being the mastermind behind the crime. Presiding over the court, Justice Samuel Emokor determined that the defendants committed the offense in violation of sections 118 and 189 of the Penal Code. The prosecution was led by Isaac Onyango, the Kabale State Attorney, while the defense was represented by Felix Bakanyebonera from MS Bakanyebonera and co-advocates. The defense requested a lighter sentence for Mukankusi, citing her responsibility for 6 children. However, Emokor emphasized that Mukankusi meticulously planned her mother's murder, enlisting Niyonzima to execute the crime. He noted that without the efforts of skilled investigators and prosecutors, Mukankusi might have escaped justice, as she had carried out the crime almost perfectly. Justice Emokor condemned Mukankusi for not considering the consequences of her actions.
Everyone meticulously planned for the murder of her mother, Florence Bashimiki. She was the brains behind the entire operation. Used A2 and A3 to execute her mission. It was almost a perfect murder, and were it not for the skill and diligence of the investigating team and prosecutors, she might have gotten away with it. I therefore hold the firm view that there is need to deter the convicts and other would-be offenders of this nature. The defense has prayed for mercy on the basis that A1 has 6 children that she is looking after. She also has health challenges. My simple response is that the convict should have thought about all these before she planned for and brutally took the life of her mother.
Justice Emokor also condemned Niyonzima for participating in murder that did not concern him personally.
As for A2, who carried out the evil assignment with A3, is a young man who ought to have known better that acting as executioner in a family feud that did not concern him would only end in trouble for him. And this is exactly what has happened. I am of the considered opinion that he does not deserve any mercy.
Subsequently, Justice Emokor sentenced both convicts to 30 years in prison, deducting the time they had already spent in remand during the trial.
In favor of the convicts, however, I'll take into consideration the period that they spent on remand during the course of this trial, and also take into consideration the provisions of the Constitution, sentencing guidelines for courts of judicature, practice directions that places the starting point for a sentence in murder at 35 years, with the aggravating factors increasing the sentence and the mitigating factors reducing the sentence. The reasons that have advanced above the offense of murder, A1 and A2 are hereby sentenced to serve a custodial sentence of 30 years. I will from this sentence for A1 deduct the period spent on remand, 1 year, 8 months, and 28 days. And the result, she will serve 28 years, 3 months, and 3 days of her sentence. In favor of A2, I will deduct 1 year, 3 months, and 22 days that he has spent on remand during the course of this trial. And the result, he will serve 28 years, 8 months, and 9 days of his sentence.
In Kisoro, our reporter visited the deceased's village, where resident Alex Hatcheza recounted discovering the elderly woman in a pool of blood days after the murder.
I just came here like any other person. When I reached here, I heard the first people who reached here were prayers, who had come for rosary, and it was a Saturday morning. Now when they reached there, they found that the door was closed. Now they hope that since Mkechu is already sick, maybe the son has taken her to the hospital. They reached here and prayed, without knowing that maybe something had happened. Let alone, they went. Now the next day, or good on Sunday, towards in the evening, it is when the son called on the number, called on the number of the mom, and he tried to interfere, asking that, where is mommy? Mommy is not pitching. He ended up calling Muzei, the one who was called you when we reached there, that you go home and search for mommy. I'm calling on mommy's number. Mommy's number is not there. When he called Muzei, Muzei came. When Muzei reached here, he went on ahead searching for the ground from the neighbors, he was nowhere. When he contacted police, they end up with, I don't know where the police had come. They end up breaking the window with this one to see what had taken long to check. Now, on opening the windows by breaking, they found blood, a flow of blood from the other corner where he took you on the other bed. Now, when they reached there, they found the vehicle is finished.
Additionally, a third convict in the case, Brian Hachizimana, 22 years old, had pleaded guilty early in the trial and received a 30-year prison sentence as well. This story was compiled by Nobat Ndiamhachi for Kigezi Television.